Good evening, everyone. I am Gaurav Gupta and I welcome all of you to the YouTube channel of Gradeup. Now, friends, today and in the next three sessions, I'll help you in making the percentages a very easy topic. All right. Now, we all understand that if I talk about percentages, this is one of the most important topics as far as our CAT examination is concerned, as well as the other B school examinations are concerned. Okay. Now, be it any aptitude test, this topic of percentages becomes very important in a lot of sections. So if I talk about some of the questions in QA, definitely you will expect some of the direct questions from percentages and its applications in quant section. Also, percentage is relevant from the point of view of data interpretation. All right. So if your calculations are strong when it comes to percentages, then you can score a lot of marks as well as you can save a lot of time. All right, friends. So let's make our calculations easy by using percentage equivalence of fractions. So in this session, I'll be restricting myself in all the calculations which require converting some percentages into their equivalent fractions. All right. So friends, let's start with this chapter. Let's start with this topic. Okay. Now, after you will attend this lecture, what you need to do is you need to practice, you need to remember some of the things that I'm going to tell you in the first 10 minutes of this session. Okay, so obviously obviously you need to spend a lot of time. It's not like that if you'll attend this session and start directly applying these techniques in the CAT examination. No, this is not like that. Okay, so you have to put on some good amount of practice before you actually be comfortable with these techniques, and then you'll be successfully able to apply these techniques in the examination and will be able to save your time. All right, so first of all, I'll take you through some percentage equivalence of fractions. All right, now if I'll talk about percentage equivalent of a fraction, so if I'll take a fraction, let's say 1 by 2, if I'll consider a fraction 1 by 2, so if I'm calculating half or 1 by 2 of anything, I can replace it by 50% or vice versa. So that means if I have to calculate 50% of anything, so instead of getting involved in percentage calculations, I can straight away divide that value by 2. So 50 percentage can be replaced by a fraction which is 1 by 2. All right. So likewise, we'll be looking at percentage equivalence of fractions. We'll try to remember these percentage equivalence of fractions starting from 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 up till 1 by 30. All right. So if you remember all these percentage equivalence of fractions, then you can do good as far as calculations are concerned in these examinations. Okay. So first of all, let us examine all these percentage equivalence of fractions. Okay. So the reciprocal to percentages. So I have a fraction 1 by 2, and I can say that we have just discussed this thing that 1 by 2 is basically equivalent to 50%. Okay. So basically, if I want to convert any fraction in its percentage equivalent, so what I'll do is, this is half, I'll multiply it by 100. So 100 by 2 is how much? 50%. All right. So half can be replaced by 50%. Likewise, if I take any random fraction, let's say 1 by 4. So if I want to convert 1 by 4 into its percentage equivalent, I'll multiply it by 100. So 100 divided by 4 will be 25%. All right. So I want to calculate the value of 1 by 4. Now, in other way, 1 by 4 can be taken as half of 1 by 2, right? So if I already know the value of 1 by 2, if I already know the percentage equivalent of 1 by 2, which is 50%, so I can say that 1 by 4's percentage equivalent can be derived by just taking half of the previous value. So 1 by 2, half of 1 by 2 is 1 by 4. So half of 50% will be 25%. All right. So in some cases, you will find that there is no need to learn the independent values. There is no need to learn all these values independently. What you can do is you can establish a certain relation between some of these percentage equivalence of fractions, and you can make life easy for you. Okay, you can make life easy for yourself. All right. So now what I have done is I have established a relation between 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. I wanted to derive the percentage equivalent for 1 by 4. I can see that 1 by 4 is half of 1 by 2. So its percentage equivalent will be half of 50%, and that is 25%. All right. Okay. Am I clear? Yes or no? All right. Now next thing is 1 by 8. So if I want to reach 1 by 8, I can derive its value from the previous fraction in the similar manner. So 1 by 8 is half of 1 by 4. So half of 25% will be 12.5%. Okay. Similarly, 1 by 16, again I'll use the same relation. So 1 by 16 will be half of 12.5. So 12.5 half is 6.25. Okay, so these four fractions and their percentage equivalents can be related to one another. So I've started from 1 by 2 and I kept on taking half of these values to derive 1 by 4, 1 by 8 and 1 by 16. All right. Okay. Now next is 1 by 3. So can anyone help me with the percentage equivalent of 1 by 3? Come on. All of you are there. So 1 by 3, the percentage equivalent. So 1 by 3 is 33.33. All right. So I can start from here. So 1 by 3, if I want to derive, so I'll multiply it by 100. So 1 by 3 multiply by 100. That will give you 100 by 3. So 100 by 3, the value is 33.33. Yes, we all know this. Okay. So 33.33. Now, if I want to go to 1 by 6, so I can again establish the similar relation that I have done up there. Okay, so 1 by 6 is half of 1 by 3. So just divide 33.33 by 2 and you can get its percentage equivalent, which is 16.67. All right. Similarly, for 1 by 12, again you can take half of 16.67 and that will be 8.33. All right. 1 by 24, half of 8.33 in the similar manner, which is 4.16. Okay. Now it is difficult for us to do division, but dividing a number by 2, it's a very easy task for us. So this is what I am using everywhere in this case. All right. Now moving ahead, looking at some other easier ones, 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 is 20%. 100 divided by 5, it's simple, 20%. Okay. 1 by 10 will be half of this, or you may calculate 100 upon 10, that will be 10%. 1 by 20 will be 5% and 1 by 15. Now how to derive 1 by 15? So one way is just multiply it by 100 and calculate the value of 100 divided by 15. Okay. Otherwise you can relate 1 by 15 with the value of 1 by 5. Okay. So you can relate this with the value of 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 when divided by 3, 1 by 5 when divided by 3 will result in 1 by 15. So 20 when divided by 3, the value will be 6.67. All right. Okay. Now friends, the fractions and the fractions and their percentage equivalents that you can now see on the screen. These numbers, these fractions are frequently used in our examinations. Okay. So the first thing is, obviously, like most of you would remember all these numbers, most of you would remember all these percentage equivalents of fractions, but still these, I'm telling you, these are frequently used. So the first two rows that you can see, these fractions and their percentage equivalents, you should be keeping in your mind. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to some other fractions. Now 1 by 7. Now 1 by 7, you need to remember this value. Obviously, we cannot calculate it again and again when it is required. Now, if you are in a practice, if you are in a regular practice of using these percentage equivalents of fractions, definitely you will remember them. Okay. So 1 by 7 is 14.28. Okay. Now let's look at the family of 1 by 7. So 1 by 14. So 1 by 14 is half of 1 by 7. So 14.28 divided by 2 will be 7.14. All right. Okay. Now further, 1 upon 28 is half of 1 by 14. So just divide 7.14 by 2, so you'll get 3.57. Okay, so if I directly ask you what is the percentage equivalent of 1 by 28, so I believe it will be difficult for us to recall this value. But if we will connect it, if we'll establish its relation from 1 by 7, okay, then it will be easy for us to derive this value. All right. Next, 1 by 9. 1 by 9 is 11.11, and you can remember 1 by 9 and 1 by 11 as a pair. Okay, so 1 by 9 and 1 by 11, you can make a pair of it. All right, so in the case of 9, I'm using 11, so it is 11.11, or you can say 11.11. Okay, so 1 by 9 is 11.11, 1 by 11 is 9.09. So in the fraction of 9, I'm using 11. In the fraction of 11, I'm using 9. Okay, so you can just relate these two in this manner. There is no logical connection between these two, but still value wise, I'm establishing a relation between them. All right. Okay. Now further, 1 by 18. Now 1 by 18 can be half of 1 by 9, that is 5.55. Next, 1 by 22 is half of 9.09. Okay, so that is 4.54. All right. Okay. Now moving further, the next fraction that bothers us is 1 by 13. So 1 by 13, remember this value, 7.69. All right, 7.69. 1 by 17, another value that bothers us, 5.88. Okay, so 1 by 17 is 5.88. All right. Okay. Now let's look at the next three values together. Okay, so 1 by 19, 1 by 20, and 1 by 21. I'll give you an easier way of remembering 1 by 19 and 1 by 21. Okay, just have a look at it. An easier way, a faster way of remembering these two values, 1 by 19 and 1 by 21. Okay, now 1 by 19 and 1 by 21, they are around 1 by 20. Okay, so 1 by 20, 1 below, 1 like before that is 1 by 19, and after 1 by 20 is 1 by 21. Okay, now what is the value for 1 by 20? 1 by 20 is 5%, as you can see. Just to remember this, there is no logic behind that. Just to keep this thing in mind, I'm telling you. Okay, now look at the square of 5. So 1 by 20 is 5%. The square of 5 is 25. Okay, so add 0.25, you will get 5.25, and subtract 0.25 from 5, you will get 4.75. Okay, so I'll repeat it again. So 1 by 20 is 5%. The square of 5 is 25. So add 0.25 and subtract 0.25. You will get these two values. All right. So 5 plus 0.25 is 5.25. 5 minus 0.25 is 4.75. All right. Clear? Okay. Now I'll be using a similar thing. The relation or the method that I have used for 1 by 19, 1 by 20, and 1 by 21, I'll be using it to derive two other values again, okay, on the next screen. All right, so this is up till 1 by 21. All right. Okay, now next portion, let's have a look at it. 1 by 23. So again, need to remember this value independently. 1 by 23. Now have a look at it. So I'll again take these values together. So what I used in 1 by 20, so 1 by 20 was 5, 5 square was 25. So similarly here, 1 by 25 is 4%. The square of 4 is 16. So just add 0.16 and subtract 0.16. All right, you will obtain the numbers. So 4 plus 0.16 will give you 4.16, and 4 minus 0.16 will give you 3.84. All right, friends, am I clear? Any problem, any doubt? So basically what I'm doing is I'm just establishing a relation between some of these so that we know we don't need to remember all these numbers independently. All right. So I have connected these three together. Okay. Now finally 1 by 27 and 1 by 37. Though there is no need to go up till 37, but just to remember these two. So 1 by 27 is 3.7, 1 by 37 is 2.7. Okay. So if you remember it like this, there is higher probability that you will remember it for the more amount of time. Okay. So 1 by 27 is 3.7, 1 by 37 is 2.7. All right. Okay. Fine. So this is it. So these are certain percentage equivalents of fraction that we must remember. Okay. So these are the numbers and the fractions that are frequently used. Okay. So all of them at a glance. So if you want to take a picture of that, you may do that. Okay. So what is the best way of learning these numbers? Make a chart, write all these numbers on that piece of paper. So you may take a bigger paper or you may take an A4 size sheet, write all these percentage equivalents of fractions, make 2-3 copies and paste it wherever you like spend most of the time in your house. So if you have a study room, just paste it and like on the wall of the study room. Okay. If you spend most of your time in your washroom, so you may paste one copy in the washroom as well. All right. So wherever, like it's up to you. And whenever you pass that, like whenever you go through that particular place, just pick 2 or 3 values and keep revising them. Okay. So friends, this is actually the best way of remembering, learning these values. All right. Okay. Now, if we have all these numbers in our mind, okay, then I am telling you in any calculation, you can easily save 15 to 20 seconds, maybe more than that. Okay. So in any calculation, you can save 15 to 20 seconds very easily. And like if you have taken any mock of CAT or any mock for SNAP, Narsi Munji, IFT or any of the aptitude test, you will understand how precious time is. Okay. If I can save 15-20 seconds in 3 or 4 questions, I will have 1.5 minute extra with me. And in this 1.5 minute, I can certainly do one more question. All right. So friends, do remember these percentage equivalents of fractions. They will definitely help you. All right. Now let's have a look at the usage of these percentage equivalents of fractions. Now these percentage equivalents of fractions, like I'll talk about the indirect use later on in the next sessions that I'm taking, but let's look at the direct use in calculations. Okay. Now you will come across a lot of cases where you will have a certain percentage increase or percentage decrease. Okay. So let's say if I want to look at the fraction for percentage increase. So let's say you are asked to increase certain number by 20%. Okay. 20%, it's percentage, it's fraction equivalent. So fraction equivalent for 20% is 1 by 5. Yes, we know that. Okay. So fraction equivalent for 20% is 1 by 5. Now, if any number, any initial value is given and I want to increase it by 20%. So one way I can find the final value as calculate 20% of the value and add it to the original value, and that will be your answer. Okay. Otherwise, what you may do is this will help you in calculations. Okay. So the new value will be 1 plus 1 by 5 times the original value. So 1 plus 1 by 5, this is one thing that is important. 1 plus 1 by 5. All right. So I can say that new value is equal to original value. So I'll write new value is equal to original value plus 20% of original value. All right. So original value plus I'm replacing 20% by its fraction equivalent 1 by 5 of the original value. If I take original value common, so I'll get 1 plus 1 by 5 in the bracket. All right. Times the original value. Okay. So this is how I have done this calculation. Now in our examination, if I start doing all these things, if I start writing all these steps, then it will not solve our purpose. Okay. So we have to be a little fast And one way of increasing the speed is skipping some of these steps. Okay. So if we'll do all these steps, if we'll take care of all these steps today only, then we don't need to write them at the time of examination. All right. So I can say that the new value will be 1 plus 1 by 5 times the original value. Now what is 1 plus 1 by 5? It is 6 by 5. So new value will be 6 by 5 times the original value. All right. Okay. So this is how you can apply like percentage equivalence of fractions at this basic calculation. All right. Now similarly, fraction for percentage decrease. Okay. Now here what I've done is I've just calculated the final value, new value in terms of original value. So this is your final answer when a value is asked to increase by 20%. Now let's look at another case where I'm asked to decrease a certain value. So let's say decrease by 14.28%. Now what is the percentage equivalent of 14.28? It is 1 upon 7. All right. So 14.28 is equal to, percentage is equal to 1 by 7. All right. Now I want to decrease a certain value by 1 by 7 of its value. So I can say that the new value will be 1 minus 1 by 7. Friends, you have to notice that we have a decrease here. Okay. So decrease. So it will be 1 minus 1 by 7 times the original value. Okay. 1 minus 1 by 7 is 6 by 7. So the new value will be 6 by 7 times the original value. All right. Okay. Now if you have this much clarity, okay, so I'm writing it again. New value is 6 upon 7 times the original value. All right. Now if original value is given, you can substitute its value here and get the value for the final value. Okay, get the final value. Now there are some cases in which they'll ask you to calculate the original value when the final value is given to you. Okay, so original value in terms of final value will be 7 upon 6 times the final value. All right. So earlier it was 6 by 7. I have just done the reciprocal of this. Cross multiplication has happened. Okay. So original value will be 7 by 6 times the new value. So this is one usage of understanding these numbers. All right. Okay. Now let's move ahead and try to apply it in some calculations. So I'll be taking a few examples one by one. Okay, and assuming that all of you already know, all of you have these percentage equivalence of fractions in front of you or in your mind. Okay, now 12.5. First of all, 12.5. So percentage equivalent of 12.5 is 1 by 8. All right. I want to increase this number. So the final value will be equal to 1 plus 1 by 8 times the original value, which is 136. All right. So I can write the final value as 9 by 8 times 136. Okay. Now you may do these calculations. So I'm not basically teaching you how to basically divide or multiply. So right now I'll restrict myself to percentages. Okay. So 1 plus 1 by 8 is 9 by 8. 9 by 8 times 136, which was the original value, will be the final answer. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. So next question is 6.25 percentage. Okay. Now 6.25 percentage. I have intentionally given this question. So earlier 12.5 was 1 by 8. Okay. So 6.25, since 6.25 is half of 12.5. So the fraction will again be half of 1 by 8, and that is 1 by 16. Again, since I have an increase, so the final value will be 1 plus 1 by 16. I'll not write this time 1 plus 1 by 16. So 1 plus 1 by 16, its value will be 7 by 16. So 7 by 16 times 1040 will be your final answer. All right. Taking on one more example, 9.09. Now, do you remember fraction equivalent of 9.09 percentage? Yes. So I told you 11 and 9 can be related with each other. Okay. So 9.09 is basically 1 upon 11. All right. 1 plus 1 upon 11 is 12 upon 11 times 198. Now friends, just observe, just think, how difficult is it to calculate 6.25 percentage, 6.25 percentage of any number if we can't convert it into its fraction equivalent. Okay, calculating 6.25% is tedious and time taking. All right, so I'm just basically spending some time today so that I can save some time in the examination. All right. Okay. Now let's have a look at the decrease thing. So 126 decreased by 6.67%. Now 6.67% is 1 by 6. Now in this case, since it is a decrease, so final value will be 1 minus 1 by 6. I'll write it for the time being, 1 minus 1 by 6 times the original value. Original value is 126. So 1 minus 1 by 6 is 5 by 6 times 126. All right. Okay. Great. Looking at the next one, decreased by 11.11%. So 9.09 was 1 upon 11. So 11.11 should be 1 upon 9. Now decreased by 1 upon 9, that means 1 minus 1 by 9 will be the factor here. So 1 minus 1 by 9 is 8 upon 9 times the original value, which is 288. All right. Finally, one more example, 14.28. We remember this, we have used it in the last slide. So 14.28 is 1 upon 7. Decrease, so 1 minus 1 upon 7 is 6 upon 7 times 329. All right. So this is how we can make our calculations a little easy, okay, by converting percentages into their fractional equivalents. All right. Okay. Now let's have a look at another thing, something related to percentage offset. So this is one type of question that we generally see in our examination. Okay, so we'll end this session with this question. All right, so let's spend some time on this. Now question says that if the price of petrol is increased by 14.28 percentage, by how much percentage should I reduce my consumption to keep the expenses constant? So let's say I have fixed amount of money. Okay, I have fixed amount of money that I spend on petrol. Okay, now if the price of petrol will go up, if the price of petrol will increase, then since I have constant money, if I have fixed amount of money, then obviously I have to take my consumption down. Okay, so that I'll be able to manage my expenses which are constant. Okay, so if price increases, the consumption should go down in order to keep the expenses same. Okay, now this is the question that is talking in the same direction. So here price of petrol is increased by 14.28 percentage. Okay, so now we have to obviously reduce our consumption because the expenses are constant. Okay, so how to approach such cases? Now we know that the relation price into consumption is equal to expenditure. All right, price into consumption is equal to expenditure. Now the question says that price has increased by 14.28. Now what is the percentage, sorry, what is the fraction equivalent of 14.28? It is 1 by 7. All right, so fraction equivalent of 14.28 is 1 by 7. So I can say that if P was the original price, it has increased by 1 by 7 fraction. Now increasing by 1 by 7, that means the new value of the price will become 1 plus 1 by 7 times the original value. That means it will become 8 upon 7 times the original value. Okay, so I can say that P has now become 8 upon 7P. All right. Now understand that if I'll not do anything with the consumption, if I'll not change the consumption, then I can say that there is a factor which is involved here. So if consumption is kept as same, then I cannot do anything with this factor 8 by 7, and the expenses will become 8 by 7 of the original expenses. But this is what I don't want. All right. So what I want is, I want these expenses to be same. Okay. So whatever expression that I have up there, P into C, the same fraction should be there. Okay. So friends, in order to nullify the effect of 8 by 7, can I say that I should multiply it by 7 by 8? All right, the reciprocal of that fraction. So in order to nullify the effect of 8 by 7, I'll multiply it by 7 by 8 and see. Okay, so consumption, if it will become 7 by 8 of the original consumption, then I can say that I will retain the original expression, which is P into C, because 7 by 8 will get cancelled with 8 by 7. All right. So consumption will now become 7 by 8 times the original consumption. Now, how can I write 7 by 8? I can write 7 by 8 as 1 minus 1 by 8. So can I say that consumption has decreased by 1 by 8? Now, what is 1 by 8? 1 by 8 is 12.5 percentage. All right. So I can say that if consumption is decreased by 12.5 percentage, then the expenses will remain constant. All right. Okay. So I hope you have understood whatever I'm trying to explain. Let's take one more example. All right. Let's have a look at one more example. So I'll just change the values. Okay. So let's say instead of 14.28, I have 8.33. Now it is important to remember these percentage equivalents of fractions. Okay. Now if you don't remember, either you will leave this question or you will end up spending more than a minute, probably 2 minutes, on this easy question. Okay. So if the price of petrol increased by 8.33%, now let's see how easy it is. 8.33% is 1 by 12. So if something will increase by 1 by 12, then it will become 1 plus 1 by 12, that is 13 by 12. Okay. Now in order to nullify the effect of 13 by 12, I have to multiply it by 12 by 13. All right. So consumption should become 12 by 13 of the original consumption. Now 12 by 13 can be written as 1 minus 1 by 13. Okay. So that means consumption is going to decrease by a fraction of 1 by 13. Now you must remember the percentage equivalent of 1 by 13, which is 7.69 percentage. All right. So I can say that if the price of petrol will increase by 8.33 percentage, then we have to reduce our consumption by 7.69 percentage in order to keep the expenses constant. All right. Am I clear, my dear friends? Okay. Now let's take one more variation of this. All right, so let's take one more example and then we'll call it a day. All right. Okay. So let's say instead of increase, the price of petrol decreased by 14.28 percentage. Okay. So by how much should I change my consumption? So instead of reduction, I'll just mention change. So if the price of petrol is decreased by 14.28 percentage, by what percentage should I reduce my consumption? Sorry, by what percentage should I change my consumption to keep the expenses constant? Now price is decreased by 14.28, that means 1 by 7 is the fraction. So something which is decreased by 1 by 7 will become 1 minus 1 by 7, that is 6 by 7. To nullify the effect of 6 by 7, I have to multiply it by 7 by 6. All right. So consumption should become 7 by 6 of the original consumption. What I can write 7 by 6 as 1 plus 1 by 6. So that means consumption should increase. Why increase? Because I have a plus sign. So consumption should increase by a fraction of 1 by 6. 1 by 6 is how much? 16.67 percentage. Okay. So I will increase my consumption by 16.67% in order to keep my expenses constant. Simple. Okay. So friends, you must revise whatever we have studied today. Okay. So I'll keep continuing with the sessions of percentages. So today we have done percentages. Now in the session tomorrow, I'll be discussing about, like, in depth about percentage increase and decrease, the successive percentage increase and decrease, and its applications. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock, with the continuation lecture of this one. All right. So friends, if you like this session, please do press the like button, do comment in the comment section, share and subscribe my channel. All right. Now this is the entire schedule that we follow for the week. So this is the free session, the list of free sessions. So you may take a snapshot and follow us regularly. Now, a very important set of information. Now, in case you don't want to search for different topics on YouTube, so you will, if you look at the descriptions like of this video, you will find a link, and that will take you to a sheet which has all the sessions compiled at one place. Okay, so you can find all the free lectures at one place using this link, which is given in the description of this video. Okay, now this is the details about the different programs that we offer. Now, one of the batches which was launched on 4th of August for all the aspirants of CAT 2022. So it's a complete course. So you may enroll in this batch. The list of the mentors is also mentioned, and the complete details are given. On the right hand side, you will see one of the batch that we have for the aspirants who are targeting SNAP, NARSI Munji, CMAT and TISNET exams specifically. Okay, so the details are given. Now this is for all the people who are targeting MBA entrance examinations this year. So CAT as well as other entrance examination. So this is a percentile booster batch. All the necessary details are given. Okay. So in case you want to join any one of our programs, you can just keep this number handy with you and call and discuss it with our counselors. The different courses that we have for CAT, we have CAT 22, a complete course, score 99 plus percentile, a comprehensive course for CAT 21, a percentile booster batch, and different batches for other MBA entrance examinations also. The list of experts that we have, so we have on an average more than 15 years of work experience among us. Okay, so you have a good reason of trusting us. All right, some super subscription plans that we offer for CAT 21, CAT 22, and other MBA entrance examinations. The examinations that are covered in these plans, the validity and the inclusions are mentioned on the screen. That's all from my side, friends. I hope you would have enjoyed my session. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, join us on Telegram, okay? And do subscribe this channel. Thank you very much, friends. Have a good day. Bye-bye.